Episode 1. The First Day of Chaos, High School. The morning sun filtered through the lavender curtains of their shared bedroom, casting a soft glow over the vanity. Lisa and Lena stood side by side, staring at the mirror. They were identical in every way. Same eyes, same nose, same height. Yet the girls reflected in the glass couldn't have looked more different. Lisa adjusted her delicate floral headband, her face a canvas of soft pinks. Lena, however, was busy tightening the straps on her black leather vest, her expression a mask of cool indifference. "High school isn't a tea party, Lisa," Lena muttered, checking her silver earrings. The floor was a battlefield of fabrics. Tulle and lace collided with denim and spikes. "You can't seriously wear that," Lisa cried, holding up a pastel pink cardigan against Lena's dark aesthetic. "It's the first day. We should look approachable." Lena scoffed, tossing a heavy buckled boot onto a pile of Lisa's plushies. Approachable is just another word for easy target. "I'm going for don't mess with me, not hug me, I'm a marshmallow." The argument escalated as hangers flew and the room descended into colorful, chaotic disarray. The shouting stopped as the clock struck 8. A heavy silence filled the room, thicker than the dust motes dancing in the light. They stood a few feet apart, bags slung over their shoulders. Lisa's eyes were narrowed, her jaw set in a rare display of stubbornness. Lena glared back, her arms crossed tightly over her chest, the neon blue streaks in her hair shimmering like a warning sign. It was a silent stare down, a challenge issued before they had even stepped foot out the door. The gates of St. Jude's High were grand and intimidating, towering over the crowd of arriving students. Side by side, the twins walked through the entrance, a walking contradiction of aesthetics. Lisa's footsteps were light, her lavender skirt swaying with every step. Lena marched beside her, the heavy clatter of her boots echoing against the stone pavement. Despite their argument, they stayed close, a tiny island of familiarity in a sea of strangers. As they crossed the courtyard, the atmosphere changed. The usual morning chatter dipped into hushed tones. Yuki and Daiki, two sophomores leaning against a stone fountain, watched them pass with wide eyes. "Are they the same person?" Yuki whispered, leaning toward her friend. Daiki just shook his head, mesmerized by the clash. It's like a magical girl and a rock star stepped out of different shows at the same time. The twins ignored the whispers, though Lisa's cheeks flushed a soft crimson. The peace didn't last long. In the crowded main hallway, the sea of students parted for a group of seniors led by Alaric. With a sneer, Alaric purposefully swerved into Lena's path. The impact was sharp. Lena stumbled back, her heavy boots skidding on the linoleum, and her bag slipped. Books and loose papers exploded across the floor. "Watch where you're going, freshman," Alaric laughed, his friends chuckling behind him as they loomed over her. Before Lena could swing a punch or shout a curse, a blur of lavender moved between her and the seniors. Lisa stood firmly in front of her sister, her small frame blocking Alaric's path. She didn't look like a marshmallow anymore. Her hands were clenched at her sides, and her soft brown eyes had turned into chips of hard amber. Alaric blinked, surprised by the sudden intervention of the girl, who looked like she belonged in a fairy tale. I believe an apology is the standard response when one behaves like a clumsy oaf, Lisa said, her voice quiet but ringing with a sharp, icy politeness. She didn't raise her voice, yet the hallway went silent. Alaric opened his mouth to retort, but the sheer intensity of Lisa's gaze stopped him cold. She looked him up and down with such refined disdain that he actually stepped back. Or perhaps, she added, senior year is simply too difficult for you to manage basic walking? After the seniors retreated in a hurry, the twins found a quiet spot behind a row of lockers. Lena was dusting off her leather jacket, her movements jerky. I had it handled, you know, she muttered, though her voice lacked its usual bite. Lisa leaned against the lockers, her fierce energy fading back into a gentle smile. I know you did, but I couldn't let him ruin your reputation on the first day. Besides, she teased, even a rock star needs a bodyguard sometimes. By the time they reached homeroom, the tension of the morning had vanished. They sat in the back row, the soft pastel of Lisa's sweater a stark contrast to Lena's dark silhouette. As the teacher began the roll call, they shared a secret, knowing smile. Their styles were opposites, but their bond was unbreakable. Suddenly, the door creaked open. A tall, mysterious student named Jackson stood in the shadow of the doorway, his eyes scanning the room until they landed right on the twins. The chaos was only just beginning.